Hey there everybody, in this episode of Old Man Gaming, this 50-something GenXer takes on Fortnite Chapter 4, Season 3 opening weekend. The gameplay footage you're about to watch is from Saturday, June 10th, 2023. Chapter 4 Season 3 brought 4 big changes with it. There's a new mid-map jungle biome that has lots of cover, and it's sunken, which means it can be difficult to get out of it once you get into it. Chug splashes have been vaulted, so healing is far more challenging than it was before. This new season has 0 mobility items you can place in your inventory, so you're dependent upon vehicles, animals, and launch pads. Vaults stayed around, but instead of being 3 fixed locations, there are 5 possible locations, 3 of which will have vaults in them in each match, and that makes choosing a landing site a little tougher. The tower that's my landing target for this match is one of the 5 possible vault locations, but we won't know that for sure until Second Zone. I switched my Princess Leia avatar to the Boosh variant because matches inevitably end up in the jungle biome and it's better for camouflage there. Whenever I can at my landing locations, I like to loot from the top down. That helps me get a better sense for who may or may not be around and gives visual audio a chance to let me know about other players. Early game here is similar to what it's always been, where you're trying to prioritize getting some decent weapons and getting some shield. And one of the things that's nice about this location in particular is that there's plenty of kegs around for you to break and supplement that. So I've got a decent loadout to start here, with a decent spray weapon, a nice shotgun, a couple of heals, and a red-eye rifle. I swear that the loot drops of the heals are very different this year. And here I'm going to grab one of these new, at least new to me, drum shotguns, which are great because you can hold auto fire and get off a ton of rounds at once, but it just chews through ammo. But as I was saying, it seems like they're dropping, and maybe it's just because the chug splashes are gone and the mix is different, that it sure seems like they're not dropping as many of the slap juices as before. So you'll see here in this early footage that I don't have anybody really challenging me to this POI, and I'm trying to prioritize getting as many slap juices as possible so that I have them for mobile healing later. And this is what I mean. This card over here has got 2 of these kegs. It's easy to break, and then you get the benefits of that on the shield very quickly. I hear some noise over here to the left, and visual audio tells me that there's some action going on over there, but instead, I'm going to make a run for this shack over here that usually has a cooler, so I can try to get some more slap juices. And it usually has a vehicle over here, typically a truck. And I get lucky because this time it has both. And I'm able to max out my slap juices. And there's even a chest here. So I pick up 6 juices right there, all in one stop, which is nice. With no mobility, I'm going to hop in the truck and head over to the Hall of Whispers. Which, given the new map, I'd like to use that as kind of my central place, because the launch pad there gives you access to 2 of the 5 vault locations very quickly. And there's also some holo chests nearby, so if I can get some keys and I score on the augment, I could potentially get some better weapons out of this. Nothing really there that's exciting, so I'm going to hold on to the keys. But you know what? I remember that back at the other location, there was a better weapon, so I'm going to hop back into the truck and use that so that I have it nearby so I can get back to the Hall of Whispers quickly if I might need to. Then on my way there, I find a rift, and I decide to hit that up, and maybe this was a mistake because I'm going to lose access to the truck. I can very quickly now get to the holo chests that were at this tower. But look, there's another player here. And I use that drum shotgun. You can see how quickly the fire rate is. but it also just eats up the ammo. And I'm able to get a better red eye now. But I'd like to heal without consuming the slap juices that I already have, so that I have them later to use in a pinch. Let's go back and see what this guy dropped. Nothing special. Well, let's go ahead and grab this med kit and heal up inside this building so I'm not a sitting duck for somebody else. And we can see while I was doing that second zone hit, and I got lucky because one of the vault locations for this match is the one that I happen to be next to. See if I can get some kind of shield here with this hidden chest in the ceiling. And there's a shield potion, so I can get to 50 here. So I got one elimination, a good red eye. I've got the newish drum shotgun, and I've got a decent spray weapon. I decided to use a couple of the splash juices, slurp juices, to top off my shield. And then I take some fire, but I take good right shoulder peak cover here while I wait for this guy to come investigate. He's facing the wrong direction, and I take care of him very quickly for elimination number 2. I want to make sure to clear the area before I go for the Vault Guard NPCs. And I hear somebody coming up that chain over there. My aim is terrible. I only get one shot on them. And then watch what they do here. They know I'm up here in this building, and they bring out the transformer cannon to try to take away my cover. And they hit me with it twice. I know that weapon only has 2 shots to it. So I try to take right shoulder cover here. I upgrade my drum shotgun, and I'm able to take care of him without taking too much damage. Can upgrade the spray weapon there. I'm going to look around just a little bit more to make sure there's not any other players around here. Upgrade my shield just a little bit before I go to try to take on the NPCs and get the vault key. Oh, there's a motorcycle over there. Maybe that'll come in handy later. So there's the NPCs come up that walkway there. And one of the things I don't like about this vault location is you're very exposed to taking out the NPCs no matter where they are, as opposed to Brutal Bastion where you've got plenty of cover. So I'm going to take these guys on and hope that I don't attract too much attention of other players with the noise I'm going to make. But I use this building as cover. One of the guys in the white suits is coming around here to the left, so at least now they're separated. But I fumble a little bit with my weapon loading. Fortunately, these NPCs aren't very good shots, so it doesn't cost me too much. And ultimately, I take out all 3. Now, unfortunately, where I take out the one in the black suit, some of his items are going to fall down the hill towards the river. And I'm a little bit inefficient with looting the stuff that he drops. Realize it's actually a bad idea to take that big pot while I'm out in the open. I need to go find the vault, but I accidentally swap out my red eye, which I don't want to do. So I could have done a better job here, but it doesn't end up costing me. Now let's go check out the vault. In the previous season, the vault would have in it not only a slurp juice, but it would also have a really good shotgun. And they've swapped that out, and instead what you have is the new drum spray weapon. Now, a couple of earlier times me playing this, there's only one way out of this vault. So I'm trying to be very cautious here, because once I go in, I'm subject to somebody trying to seal me off and prevent me from coming out. So I'm super careful about how I go into this. And visual audio tells me there's another player nearby. But if you listen real carefully, you're going to hear them open a door and then leave. I'm not sure why they would do that. Maybe they don't quite understand the vault system. But I wait for that to clear. The vault ought to be open by now. But I still want to make sure that guy isn't coming down these stairs to try to seal me in. So unlike last season and some of the other vault locations, you can't break this floor and free up all these items. You need to do them one at a time. And because I'm an old man, I don't do this very efficiently, where I grab that spray weapon and then accidentally put it in the wrong slot. I don't quite see where the slurp juice is. I finally swap things around and get things in the locations I want. I want to see if I can maybe upgrade that shotgun. But I want to be careful about somebody ambushing me at the beginning of the vault. I've got a blue drum shotgun there, and that's probably good enough. So I decide not to mess with it anymore and leave the vault. Because if you look, zone is starting to creep in a little bit. We're going to be just on edge of zone when it collapses here the next 25 seconds or so. But still, don't want to get caught in zone and take some damage, or in the storm and take some damage. So I'm going to try to play this right on the edge. Is there somebody I could snipe over here? Whatever that fight was, it didn't go on long enough for me to do anything about. So I'm just trying to be patient here. We got into zone 4, and Loot Island has become available, or at least it's going to spawn here in a few seconds. I haven't found that to be super useful so far, or at least my skills are such that I don't do well there without a mobility item in my inventory. So I've been skipping that for the most part. And because I've already got a slurp juice, really that's the main thing I need to get into endgame. So even though this is a street bike, I'm going to get on that to use it for its mobility. And on grass, it moves only slightly faster than I could as running. I come over here to what used to be the gas station, and look, there's a big truck here I can use instead. And that'll move me much more quickly. Somebody tries to take some shots at me as I'm heading towards Hollow Whispers. I manage to hit him with the truck, but then I lose sight of them. I'm not really sure where they are. So I decide, regardless if I'm going to fight this guy, I've got the good red eye, I'm going to go up and get elevation on him at the Hollow Whispers. So I know he's down here in this valley, and I know that the way zone is turning, at some point this guy is going to have to come towards me. And I get a little bit lucky here, because I'm going to get to loot here just a little bit more to see if I can upgrade my shotgun or maybe find some more slap juices. I get just a little more elevation, and when I do, that guy starts a fight with someone else. So I can third party this from a distance. If my aiming weren't so bad. So these two are going to aim at each other around a tree, and I managed to not get shots on either one of them. But I've got a really good line of sight here and a good distance weapon. So this guy's hiding behind this tree, so I take out the tree. And I managed to get on a shot on him, but then he takes cover again. I change my elevation slightly. I'm going to take out his second cover. He gets in one shot on me, but I'm not too worried about it because he's on the defensive here. All in all, this fight's going to end up going way longer than it probably should, but given my 53-year-old hand-eye coordination, I'm just not going to do this as well as I could. But here it is. The storm is going to help me out and flush him towards me if I'm just patient with it. I come over here to this notch and get way better line of sight. He's not doing a very good job taking away my cover as I did to him earlier, and now I finally get in the shots that I need to get my 4th elimination in the match. It takes me 5 forevers to do so. Fortunately, I didn't get third-partied from behind at some point. So there's 13 players remaining now. I've got 4 eliminations. I need to top off my shields here with stuff that I can find at this POI. I'm pretty happy with the weapon loadout that I have, and I've got the good healing item. I've got to find some mobility here to help me get into next zone if I can. Haven't been able to use the keys, really. And I'm short on ammo, which is going to come into play towards the end game. Like I said, the drum shotgun just eats up the shotgun shells. And I used way too much medium ammo taking that guy out at a distance just because my aiming was so bad. But now I'm going to use the launch pad to get myself in zone. And while I'm doing all that, 3 other players get eliminated, so I'm top 10 now. So notice here how sunken the jungle biome is. Usually there's a chance of a chest around here. And you can now see how well this particular Leia skin blends in with this environment. And for now, I'm just going to sit and wait and see if I hear somebody else I can third party with my good red eye. So I've got good cover here for a minute, and I'm just going to relax, wait for something to happen here a little bit. Notice how most of what's in zone is in that part of the jungle that's sunken even more. And without some kind of animal mobility, it can be difficult to get out of there. You can see there's a zip line. I'd rather not create noise for myself. But now the next zone has announced itself, and I know I need to start moving. The thing about having no mobility items at this part of the season is once zone starts, you can't really afford to not start to move immediately because the storm's going to creep up on you quickly. I hear some shots over here, but can't really get line of sight on anybody because the cover down there in the jungle is so good. And then I really need to start to work on getting in zone. So I start to move on foot. It's tempting to go up on the treetops, but then you risk taking some fall damage. So I'm going to go down to the jungle level here. I'm hoping to run into a raptor here so that I can get some better mobility by virtue of an animal. That's not going to happen for me right away. And instead, I'm just going to move away from the sound of those shots because I'm way more worried about the storm at this point than I am about individuals. Just there's so many places to take cover here in the jungle. Slide down here, go behind this building. I hear more shots. And when I'm figuring out what to do next, I see another player. I've got good line of sight on him, but my aim is just terrible. And then the storm takes me over, and I'm in real trouble here. Because I'm behind the storm, and I'm taking on fire from somebody. I get lost on the map, and I think going through the waterfall is going to give me an exit point to getting to a safe place from the storm, but it doesn't. Fortunately, that other player went vertical on the stairs, and I'm able to hide in zone underneath him and pop a heal. And this is where this saves me, because if I didn't have that particular heal, I wouldn't be able to get all my health back. That guy's fighting somebody else above me. So now I'm going to be able to slowly go up the stairs while my healing maxes out. I get lucky with where I land here and get a good angle on him immediately, and that drum shotgun takes him out pretty quickly. But those wasps start to swarm me, and I make a run for it so I can get out of their way. Visual audio tells me there's a raptor in the distance. It would be really great to get some mobility at this point. Now there's an egg and there's a raptor. And I'm going to land on it on second jump. And now I've got mobility, and if you look in the upper right, there's only 2 of us left. So now I've got some extra mobility and some extra heal by virtue of having the raptor. Want to try to get some more ammo as I go towards where a zone is going to collapse to. And the jumping ability of the raptor is very, very cool. I want to try to get to this high ground. Oh, and look, you can see visual audio. The other player is off to the right here. So I want to try to circle around. He's probably already up on this plateau. And I want to try to get cover in this building to sort of reset myself a little bit here. So I wasn't able to find more ammo. I'm short on ammo here for this final fight. I'd like to hide out in that building for a minute, but that's not to be because of where the storm is. Now the trick is going to be who finds who first, because it's 1v1, and I want to try to move a little bit to get a sense for what's going on within this zone, and we can see in the upper right that the new movement zone is going to come my direction, which is to my advantage. So really I want to try to stay pretty still with small movements so that I don't give away my location. And it happens quickly, but off in the distance, for no apparent reason, he's jumping around and he gives away his location. So I'm going to go up to the top of this ridge, get some cover behind this rock. And I no longer... Oh, where'd he go? I check down here to see if he's come down here. And then I finally catch sight of him off in the distance. So I switch to my red eye here. I get on a couple of good tags. And then this all happens very quickly. He's going to get out the transformer cannon, hit me with it. I'm going to switch to my spray weapon, and I get lucky because I hit him midair and get the victory. That's very unusual for me to be able to get a midair hit like that. But when he got me with the transformer cannon that took me off of the raptor and popped me up in midair, I was able to come down on him and finish the match. 6 eliminations, you can see the other stats here. And the key for me was having the premium healing item, which I needed late in the game, and taking advantage of the ambient mobility items in the form of launch pads, animals, and vehicles at various times throughout the match. That'll do it for this episode of Old Man Gaming. I hope you found some tips in there that might help you out. If you saw something in there I should have done or could have done better, feel free to comment below. You can help out the channel with a like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.